And welcome back to Talk of Alabama. We all know that we live in a very busy, distracted, and high-tech world. And sometimes that means getting your point across may not be very easy. It could be harder than we expect. That's the topic we're discussing today with Allison Blankenship, the president of Precision Speaking. And here's the question. I mean, how do we do it? Because it's like we're overloaded.
And that's part of the problem, is understanding what happens. Technology is great, except that when we multitask with technology, that's where the problem occurs, because your brain actually switches from the hippocampus, which is your consciousness, to what's called the striatum, which is your rote autopilot section. Okay. So now people are really not listening because they're technically on autopilot. Do you know we've even got research that shows that people that frequently multitask or constantly check their email or cell phones, they actually test as less intelligent than someone who's high on marijuana.
Really?
Now, not recommending that you do anything with the marijuana to, improve the situation, but yeah.
But it's because your mind is kind of like, return this text or look at this Facebook post.
And we think we can do two things well at once, but actually our brain shows us that we cannot, because it is technically going on autopilot when we're multitasking.
So is there a solution to kind of overcome this? I mean, how do we do that?
Yes, and there's some great ideas. As you said, you kind of have to cut through the clutter. You kind of have to grab people's attention and gain it back. So there's three quick, easy ways you can do that. You can use stories, you can use comparisons, or you can answer the "what's in it for me" question.
Okay, so explain those a little bit more.
Okay, with stories, of course, that's the oldest, most respected. We've passed down history, and if you think you learned parables, Aesop's fables, Grimm's fairy tales, that's our traditional way to share information and history. So your brain really loves stories. It wants to be entertained.
Okay.
Comparisons, on the other hand, are really, really neat, and some of my favorites. That's how saying one thing is like something else. For example, I'll tell you a story with a comparison.
Okay, I'm listening.
This weekend, I learned how to grout tile.
Okay.
And my job was to put the grout in. And as I'm walking through, it's very difficult. I realized that putting the paste into the grout into the tile is a lot like frosting a cake.
Okay.
Because it's the same motion. You have a spatula. So as I thought about it, frosting the cake, all of a sudden, it became very easy.
Okay.
So you can see how that might anchor, because now you're thinking about tile and you're thinking about
cake. So, okay, my next question then, how can people, we talk about with our world being so busy, and you want to present something at work, you want to make an impression, how do you either persuade people and or get your information across that people remember?
That brings us to the third technique, which is that WIIFM, what's in it for me?
Okay.
It's the one question everybody asks, everybody subconsciously wants to know, and if you can answer that question, then you've immediately got their attention.
So if I'm pitching you something, I need to think of something that you benefit from, is that right?
Exactly.
So you'll perk up and pay more attention, and remember what I said, if there's something in this proposal that affects you.
Right, and there's three key areas three ways to answer that question. Typically, if your idea saves the other person time, saves them money, or makes them look good or feel good. So if you can say to me, well, I think we should move this way because it's going to save us 6 days in implementation and $30,000. Wow, now my brain is like, that's a lot. Okay. Or if you tell me, well, you should really wear that skirt because it makes you look skinny. Oh, there's that look good, so I'm going to do that for sure.
You're going to do that. Isn't that interesting? I mean, but we really are kind of a self-absorbed society in a way too. And if you're a business owner or leader, and it really can help your bottom line, it can help productivity. In the corporate sense, it's a big deal.
But this is also true with raising my children. When you say go do this, and they look at you like, why? It's an inherent behavior. So if you can answer the why for them and tell them how this will either lead to an incentive or help overall, then people will be motivated to comply.
Instead of saying, why? Because I told you so.
Yes, exactly. Which we all know works so well.
You've got an idea. This is a book. You did not write this, but it's one of your favorites.
It is my favorite. It's called Made to Stick. It's by two brothers. It's amazing. They actually talk about 6 different ways to get your ideas remembered and kind of make it sticky. So Chip and Dan Heath, this book has been out for a while. You can pick it up online or at any of your favorite booksellers. It's a wonderful read.
And your business, what do you do? How can you help people?
My business is executive presentations and executive presence. So this is a lot of what I work on, is how to speak to senior leadership to make them understand either your value or why your decision is the best choice. And we use many of these same ideas, comparisons, benefits.
Okay, so if people want to get more information on either this topic or if they want to contact you about setting up an appointment for precision speaking, professional speaking, how do they do so?
They can go to our website, which
Okay.
is precisionspeaking.com, and it has all of our contact information.
Okay, the website is on your screen, precisionspeaking.com. If you are an executive or in the corporate world, or maybe you just need some help when it comes to that kind of stuff in your personal life, Allison can certainly hook you up. Thank you so much for being
Thank you,
here.
Nicole.
You always look pretty, by the way.
Thank you.
And I'm not just saying that because you told me to.
No.
You do.
Do I look skinny, though? That's the important part.
Yes, both, pretty and skinny. Stay with us on Talk of Alabama.